I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. We're going to begin this morning with the fallout from the tens of thousands of documents released in connection to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump was seen avoiding reporters yesterday as he continues to dismiss questions over what he's calling a hoax after the House Oversight Committee released emails sent by Epstein from 2011 to 2019, with some mentioning Trump by name.
Now, former victims of Epstein are speaking out. They're calling on Congress to compel the Justice Department to release all of the remaining files connected to him. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, we're hearing from two survivors and newly sworn-in House Democrat Adelita Grijalva. She provided the crucial signature on a House petition that has triggered a vote to release these files. They all shared why they want those files made public.
We're talking because we don't want anyone to have to go through what we're going through right now. It's really important for people to understand that as survivors, we can't do this alone.
This is not a partisan issue. Everybody should be signing on to releasing all of that information.
Speaker Mike Johnson said a vote on the petition to release the files in the House could happen next week. NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor joins us now with the latest. Yamiche, good morning. So as victims, lawmakers, even members of Trump's MAGA base call for increased transparency when it comes to Epstein, it does appear President Trump just wants this issue to go away. We saw that video of him avoiding reporters yesterday, something he doesn't typically do. Can you give us a sense of the impact these new disclosures are having on the White House right now?
Well, I can tell you that President Trump absolutely wants this issue to go away. But unlike other scandals that he's really been able to move past and even will his supporters past, in this case, it's just not going away. People continue to ask the president about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The White House is also putting out a statement late last night when I asked them about this issue. Here's what they told me. They said the only thing these emails prove is that President Trump did nothing wrong. Democrats are the ones politicizing Epstein to talk about anything other than their party getting utterly defeated by President Trump in the shutdown fight. They failed in their bid to secure free health care. And they went on to say free health care for illegal immigrants, which Democrats push back on. They also say Democrats don't care about Epstein's victims. They ignored them for years and are now using them as a political distraction. It's sick. So that's the White House really doubling down and playing defense here. But there's still a lot of questions that President Trump is not answering. And I think he's going to continue to get those questions until he really provides some more answers here.
Yamiche, as these thousands of documents are being poured over, we're not only learning more about President Trump's connection to Epstein, but several other powerful people. What can you tell us?
It's really fascinating. When you look at the 20,000 pages of documents, a lot of names come up, and one of them is the man formerly known as Prince Andrews, now, of course, known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, because he's been stripped of all his royal titles. And he is someone who was in these messages. I want to read to you a little bit of what he said. He said, "I can't take this anymore," in a 2011 email. And in some ways, it really just shows that Prince Andrew was really feeling frustrated with his connection here. We know that we have that photo of him with a very well-known victim of Jeffrey Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, who later committed suicide. He has denied, by the way, all wrongdoing here, saying that he doesn't even remember this photo, thinks it might be fake when we don't have any evidence that that photo is fake. But what we have is Prince Andrew, yet again, having to play defense. And in some ways, it underscores why he was stripped of all his titles, because maybe royal officials knew that these emails were going to really, in some ways, bring up his name yet again, since he has been really connected to Jeffrey Epstein now for decades.
Yamiche, amid all this political debate, it is important to acknowledge Epstein's victims and their families. House Democrats redacted the name of one of Epstein's accusers in the emails they released, but the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt later identified her as the woman you just mentioned, Virginia Giuffre, who, as you said, did die by suicide earlier this year. Do we know why the White House chose to release Giuffre's name, and how is her family responding to that?
I am not sure why the White House press secretary decided to unredact Virginia Giuffre's name. One thing is, of course, that she is a well-known victim of Jeffrey Epstein, but her family is very angry at the fact that the White House decided to put her name out related to this email where Jeffrey Epstein is alleging that President Trump spent hours with her. Again, President Trump at this time has not been charged with any criminal wrongdoing. He denies any wrongdoing, but Jeffrey Epstein in an email was essentially making the case that he spent hours with this woman who used to work at Mar-a-Lago. Take a listen to what Virginia Giuffre's family had to say about this.
What a disrespect to survivors. I mean, the redaction is there for a reason, so it can protect the families and the individuals. I just want to remind President Trump and the White House that survivors are not political toys. Our sister was not a political toy to use.
So really, of course, a heartbreaking situation. Their sister is gone, and now they're feeling like she's really being, in some ways, re-victimized by this White House. And they're really, as you can tell, very upset about the fact that her name was unredacted by the White House press secretary, Joe Savannah. All
right. Yamiche Alcindor, thank you so much.
Well, things are slowly getting back to normal in Washington following the record-breaking 6-week-plus federal government shutdown. Federal employees are back at work and will soon be getting paid. But as NBC News correspondent Alice Barr explains, the pain of the shutdown continues to linger for families trying to get back on track.
Good morning, Joe and Savannah. We're starting to get some more clarity about when everything that got so backed up during the shutdown will unwind, from federal worker back pay to urgently needed food assistance. As the federal government grinds back into gear after the longest ever shutdown, federal workers are getting back on the job.
Been difficult. I mean, it's a lot of uncertainty. People going to work, people not going to work, whether the government's open, whether the government's not open, whether flights are going to fly on time.
With back pay expected to roll out this weekend through early next week for furloughed and essential workers who haven't had a paycheck since,
oh God, I don't know, October, the beginning of October. I want to be able to pay my bills.
Major airlines say they're ready to ramp their schedules back up to normal once the FAA lifts a 6% flight reduction that's continued cancellations to ease staffing shortages and ensure there are enough air traffic controllers on the job. As the Homeland Security Secretary handed out $10,000 bonuses to TSA workers who kept coming to work without pay.
For stepping up, taking on extra shifts, for showing up each and every day.
Federal contractors do not get back pay.
It just piles on.
And even those who will have to dig out from the past 6 weeks.
You've had things that have gone in the rears. You may have had to borrow against your credit cards.
Millions of Americans are also waiting for their full SNAP federal food assistance benefits.
Hopefully by the end of this week, most will receive it at the very latest on Monday.
The swell in demand at food pantries, a clear illustration of a shutdown's real-world consequences, with the clock ticking until government funding runs out again at the end of January. Preventing the next shutdown will hinge on bipartisan negotiations over lowering health care costs. While the Council of Economic Advisors estimates this shutdown cost the U.S. economy about $15 billion a week and led to 60,000 non-federal employees losing their jobs. Savannah and Joe, back to you.
All right, Alice, thank you. Well, for more on this, let's bring in NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin. Julie, good morning. So the fight over health care was the big sticking point during the government shutdown. Ultimately, nothing got done. Where does that fight stand now for both Republicans and Democrats?
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. That is the #1 question that everybody's asking right now, not just Democrats, who of course gave up in this fight, at least 8 of them in the Senate, a couple of them in the House, without any meaningful movement on these Affordable Care Act subsidies that expire this year. But also, as we laid out in our reporting just published yesterday, Republicans also want to come up with a plan, because these policies, the premiums that are going to spike, don't just affect blue states. They affect red states too, and states like Florida and Texas especially, those premiums doubling or even tripling for so many millions of Americans. So Republicans right now are toying with the idea of perhaps just giving Americans the funding directly through flexible spending accounts, those healthcare accounts that you can see that aren't taxed, that you could spend on healthcare matters. Well, they're toying around with this idea because President Trump had endorsed it. He talks about it again this week. There are competing plans in the Senate to do it. But I just want to be very clear. They are still so far away from actually putting pen to paper, writing bill text. They are in talks, I'm told, with some Democrats across the aisle, but those Democrats still just want these subsidies to be restored.
Julie, let's talk about some other news that centers on who might control Congress. The Justice Department has now joined a Republican-led lawsuit. It's seeking to block California's Democratic-drawn congressional map, which voters approved just last week. California did this in response to Texas's redistricting earlier this year, giving Republicans more House seats in the Lone Star State. Walk us through this complaint that was filed in federal court and where this fight goes from here.
Yeah, Joe, 64% of California voters approved this map just last week. So that is a strong showing for these new maps that were pushed by the governor, Gavin Newsom. It was a risky gamble, but all in all, now that these voters approved this map, that means that 5 solid Republican seats are now more favorable for Democrats in next year's midterms. That's huge because, as we've been talking all year long, control of the House is so razor thin right now. Johnson working with a 2-seat margin. So 5 seats would be major. That's why the Department of Justice under the Trump administration joined this Republican-led lawsuit. They say that this is purely partisan effort. They also say it's racial discrimination, and that's the argument that they're using to appeal this in the courts. It could take some time, and Gavin Newsom's spokesperson is pushing back, saying they will prevail. But as you pointed out, this only comes after Republicans use legislation, because it's allowed in Texas, to redraw those maps. In California, it required a ballot measure, so the administration is able to sue. There are lawsuits going around in other states around the country because Republicans, led by President Trump, wanted to do this in Texas, but also in other states. Indiana is one of them, among a handful of others, to try and beef up their chances of having more control over the House in 2026. Democrats feeling confident they can hang on to this in California, but we'll see what happens in the courts.
Julie, before we let you go, I do want to ask you about Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. He was hospitalized yesterday after falling near his home. We think this was due to a flare-up of a cardiac issue. What happened, and how's he doing?
Yeah, it's a cardiac issue known as ventricular fibrillation. We talked to a medical expert who said this is pretty serious. And Fetterman has had a history of medical episodes over the last couple of years. You'll remember when he was campaigning for Senate back in 2022, he actually suffered from a stroke. At that time, they implanted this wearable monitor that he's had. It kind of picks up these ventricular fibrillation episodes very easily. So when he was walking outside of his home in Braddock, Pennsylvania, he fell. He released a cheeky statement speaking to the injuries he suffered on his face. He was taken to the hospital. They adjusted his medical regimen, his medication regimen, because it is a serious episode that caused him to essentially fall. I want to tell you, though, that Republicans and Democrats are wishing him well wishes. His partner senator from Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick, saying that Fetterman is strong and he will get over this too. But of course, concerning, because it is just one of the latest medical concerns that Senator Fetterman has had to deal with, including some pretty serious mental health issues, which he's been open about.
Julie Sirkin, thank you very much, covering a lot for us this morning.
Former FBI Director James Comey and current New York State Attorney General Letitia James are pushing to have the cases against them brought by the Justice Department dismissed. They're arguing the Trump-appointed prosecutor was improperly appointed to her role. Now, those charges were brought by acting U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan. James is charged with mortgage fraud connected to the purchase of a home in Virginia. Comey is accused of making a false statement and obstructing Congress during a hearing in 2020.
Well, in a suburban Washington, D.C. courtroom yesterday, their lawyers argued that Halligan is acting unlawfully as a U.S. attorney, claiming both of these cases were politically charged and motivated. For some context, Halligan worked on President Trump's legal team in his classified documents case before he was elected for a second time. Then once in office, Trump appointed Halligan to be the interim U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, even though she lacks any experience as a prosecutor.
We have NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos here for more on this. Danny, good to have you with us. So let's talk about this appointment issue. What is it both sides are arguing here? What do the facts tell us?
The government is arguing that federal law gives the Attorney General the power to appoint an interim prosecutor, a U.S. attorney, for 120 days. And that's what happened here. But that 120 days expired. Then federal law says the district court judges can continue that appointment, and that's what they did. So the government's saying that, hey, that 120 days expired. We issued a new 120 days with Lindsay Halligan, a new interim U.S. attorney. The defendants are arguing, no, that's an incorrect interpretation of the statute, because that would result in an absurd situation where an attorney general could just continually appoint 120-day appointments forever and bypass the requirement of Senate confirmation, all the other requirements we have for U.S. attorneys. So that is the issue being debated now at the court.
Did the judge seem to be leaning one way or another? And when do we find out about this?
This is just my opinion based on the length of the hearing, which was not very long, and just what was reported about how the judge reacted to the government's argument, and the fact that government appears to concede that this was at least a paperwork error. When you read between the lines as a litigator, that's the kind of thing you say when you're making a concession without making a concession. Judge, well, it's a paperwork error. It's a technicality. Let's just move forward anyway. That's the kind of thing that signals to me that the judge may be leaning towards the defense, which could have very dramatic effects.
Yeah, let me ask you about those dramatic effects.
That's,
if Halligan,
that's what I call I tossed it right to you.
It's like we planned that or something. If Halligan is removed, I mean, what does that mean for both of the cases against Comey and James? We know some other prosecutors aren't necessarily eager to tackle these cases.
Well, the defense is arguing that if Lindsay Halligan wasn't properly appointed, you might as well have had Joe Fryer present to the grand jury as a civilian. And I'm not being glib, really. If she is a civilian effectively, then that indictment, they're arguing, has no legal effect. And they're going further. They're asking for the indictment to be dismissed with prejudice, which means it can never be brought again. Now, I don't think the judge is going to go that far, but in the case of Comey, if the statute of limitations has expired, then a dismissal now means the indictment may not be bringable at all now that the limitations period is over.
All right. Danny Savalos, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, in Oklahoma, hundreds of people were evacuated from their homes and dozens were sent to the hospital after a dangerous ammonia gas leak in a small town. NBC News correspondent Ryan Chandler has this report from the scene.
This was the chaotic scene in Weatherford, Oklahoma. A tanker truck spewing massive amounts of toxic gas in a hotel parking lot.
We just had a huge cloud of gas coming out the west side of the Holiday Inn.
As first responders closed in, dozens of patients in respiratory distress were rushed to a nearby hospital. Police say 4 were flown to Oklahoma City, deemed life critical.
I remember screaming, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe, what is happening, I can't breathe."
Sherry Arcuria was working the front desk when panic broke out.
It filled this hotel lobby and you felt like you had nowhere to run.
Yeah, like I didn't physically see any smoke at that time. I've seen pictures since, and it was like this giant, like a low flow cloud system. It kind of looked like that just covered the entire base of the entire hotel.
Emergency crews in gas masks went door to door, telling hundreds of local residents to evacuate as the plume spread to nearby communities, including 3 senior living facilities.
There was people choking. I mean, I was choking. You know, every breath was like a survival gas. This morning, I feel like I've aged, and I've probably smoked about 17 packs of cigs.
Anhydrous ammonia, used for farm fertilizer, has a suffocating odor and can be deadly, causing respiratory distress, burning skin and eyes.
It's attacking your lungs, the moisture in your lungs, and so it's very, very dangerous.
Local authorities announced the concentration in the air had reduced to acceptable levels, lifting the evacuation order. Officials urging residents to open doors and windows to air out their homes.
All right, our thanks to Ryan Chandler for that report.
Now for a check on our morning news now weather with flood watches and lots of rain on the way for the West Coast this weekend.
Angie Lassman joins us with the latest. Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning to you. Happy Friday. Unfortunately for folks on the West Coast, they're going to have to deal with a whole lot of unsettled weather over an extended period. It starts today for a lot of folks across Southern California. You can see up into the Sierra Nevada mountain range as well, and stretching back into parts of Las Vegas. The southern half of really Nevada is going to see some of that additional rainfall. So no surprise that we are waking up to 23 million people under these flood alerts. There's flood watches across much of Southern California, including LA, Santa Barbara, and down to the border for San Diego. We're going to see plenty of rain in addition to what we've already received across this region over the next couple of days. Today, the focus is on Southern California. We'll see those gusty winds stretching from the coast all the way to the mountains as well. And then as we get into tomorrow, much of that rain will lift farther to the north. But unfortunately, even parts of Los Angeles are going to still be dealing with the heavy rain, and that stretches down to San Diego as well. So while we're seeing more of California and Nevada pick up some of that additional rain, still Southern California in and out of the heavy rain. That means that the flooding is going to be a very real threat here over the next couple of days, specifically across those burn scar areas, those really vulnerable spots that we oftentimes see flood first and see the flash flooding occurring pretty rapidly across. That's going to be something we'll watch today and tomorrow. By Sunday, all over California, we'll still be looking at kind of some scattered showers, Nevada in that as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of this snow and wind disrupt any travel across the Sierra Range. This is going to be something that lasts through the weekend, does leave us with the difficulty on the roadways. But again, that air travel could be difficult in places like Reno as well. Los Angeles to Santa Barbara dealing with that moderate risk of flash flooding today, but stretching a little farther north and east as well. And as we get into tomorrow, we'll still see really that same region, Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, Irvine, under that moderate risk. We're most concerned for the flooding there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some evacuations going on. Again, we know how vulnerable that area is. By the time this is all said and done through Sunday, maybe 3, 4, upwards of 5 inches in some spots. You can see those higher amounts closer to the coast and in those areas that we are looking at that moderate flood, flash flood risk today and tomorrow. And then when it comes to the snowfall, we'll pick up a good amount in some spots across the Sierra Nevada, up to 2 feet in some locations. So, of course, Mammoth Lakes, Lake Tahoe, those locations, folks will be happy when it comes to snow sports, but definitely going to leave us with some difficulty when it comes to travel across this region once again as we get through the weekend, guys. So busy for our friends out west.
Big story this weekend.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Thank you,
Chris.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.